welcome back to First Take. Look, Giannis Antetokounmpo will begin another quest for the title with the Bucks this season, but could that quest have been with New York? A report dropped by our Shams Charania this morning detailing a turbulent summer for the star who expressed doubts about Milwaukee's ability to truly. Shams reported that the only team Giannis would entertain going to was the New York Knicks. But when the Bucks listened to New York's offers for the star, they were underwhelmed and inevitably did not make a move. I am certain this breaks one Stephen A's heart, who, of course, is a beloved Knicks fan, and the Greek freak can do it all. He obviously would like out of Milwaukee if there was the right suitor. It sounds like the Knicks maybe were the right suitor, but didn't do the right things. Are you unhappy with the way the Knicks approached it?
I'm unhappy about it, and I say that with all due respect to everybody on the New York Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns, of course, who I just taped a commercial with, Jalen Brunson, and what he's doing. The brother's big time. He's the star of the New York Knicks. You the cardiac kids. You got Josh Hart and those boys, and Anunoby and these cats. I mean, got Mikal Bridges, of course. Got nothing but love for all of them, but they ain't Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, do we know who this man is? This man has averaged 30 and 11 over the last 3 years. He's averaged a minimum of 28 and 11 over the last 6 years. This brother is one of the top 5 players on the planet Earth. That's who the hell he is. If you're the New York Knicks and you can get that dude to the Garden, everybody but Jalen Brunson, I'm giving up, because he's got to play with somebody. I'm giving up everybody. I'm giving up the cheerleaders. I'm giving up the dance team. I'm giving up the equipment manager. I'm giving up every damn body to get him. Now, the Knicks obviously did not feel that way. And I know one can make the argument he has been in Milwaukee. Yeah. They have been bounced out of the first round over the last 3 years. But that's because of the parts around him. It ain't because of Giannis. Not because of him. Since they won the finals, they lost the semifinals the next year. And then after that, they've been bounced out the last 3 years in a row. Obviously, coaching changes and things of that nature. We see all of that happening. But Giannis is a monster, man. And if you're talking about the New York Knicks getting somebody of that caliber, to me, nobody outside of Jalen Brunson would have been safe for me. Personally, because that's how I feel about Giannis. He's just that fantastic. But I know the Knicks got they're priding themselves in the culture and the core, and they weren't going to disrupt that. So no matter what they're saying, they clearly didn't want him bad enough.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't know why Milwaukee wouldn't want anything that the New York Knicks have to offer, including Jalen Brunson. But that's an aside. I guess my question is, if you're a Knicks fan, right, why wouldn't you give up Jalen Brunson? You just said that Giannis is a top 5 player. Jalen Brunson is not.
No, I'm just talking about in terms of what he's been. First of all, Jalen Brunson was an MVP candidate. We know he's not Giannis. Please don't. I'm not getting it twisted. Okay. But, the brother averaged nearly 30. I mean, Jalen Brunson has proven he can play. Not only that, he's been willing to sacrifice because he could have got extra dollars if he had waited a year, the additional $100 million, but he didn't do that because he wanted to make sure they got one of the boys. Respect for that as well. And we know it. And I'm just thinking about who you have to play with, because you could come to New York and lose in the first round, too, if you don't have the requisite parts around you. That's all I mean by that. But Giannis is clearly more valuable than anybody. He's a top 5 player on the planet. And that monster, if he came to New York City, the Garden, don't get me started on the mistake that Kyrie and KD made by going to Brooklyn instead of the Garden. The Garden is different, okay? They probably have a few $100 million more in their pocket.
Oh, for sure.
Their brand would be exponentially larger. And I think they would have had more success playing at the Garden together. I mean, you would have seen a difference. There's something special about the Garden. Look, we were acting like they won a championship when they won the second round. You understand? And, I mean, because that's how desperate we are for any kind of relevancy. But when it comes to Giannis, the brother averages 30 and 11. Don't count on him to shoot 3-pointers, but you can count on him for every damn thing else. Yeah. He's that great. He's that, and if you had a chance to get him, I think the New York Knicks should have. But the New York Knicks are very, very big on what they're building together and coaching. Here's where my trepidation kicks in. I want to see what you think about this, Cece. Because I bring this up when it came to Mike D'Antoni. See, back in the day, when the New York Knicks went and got Carmelo Anthony, see, he didn't want that. Because you had Gallinari and other cats, and you were building something, and the pressure wasn't there to win the chip, because you knew you didn't have a good enough team, but you had a good enough team to challenge and to be interested, which led itself towards job security. I'm certainly not accusing Leon Rose, World Wide West, and cats of thinking that way, but I do think there's this thing about their culture and keeping that together instead of shooting for the stars for somebody like Giannis.
Well,
I do believe that.
I think any any attempt to contend at a championship level went out the window when you decided to trade 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, giving up that pick swap, because now all of a sudden you don't have the ammunition to go out and tinker with the team to engage and start.
You should have never gave up more than 3.
Exactly.
You should have never given up more than 3 picks.
So star players in the trade aside, when you think about where the Milwaukee Bucks are, they're going to want draft capital.
That's right.
And the New York Knicks are not in position to offer. The Atlanta Hawks are in position to do that.
That's true.
When they have the most valuable asset in the NFL.
Even Oklahoma City's in a position to offer that. Even them.
The New York Knicks can't do it in terms of putting together a package of both picks and players in order to entice Milwaukee to make a deal.
This is the lone thing I can blame Jalen Brunson about. You wanted your boy. And obviously Leon Rose and them are going to go out and get that for you. You don't get them to give up 5 first-round picks. You got to hold on to a couple of those. Okay? And I think that as a star, you have to have the foresight to think beyond that. Mikal Bridges is a damn good player. He's no scrub, and he can make a contribution. I think he'll be even better this year. But
for $150 million, he better be.
But in the end, you gave up those. It ain't the money. It's those 5 picks that everybody remembers that you gave up for him. It's going to be hard to live that down. It's going to be hard to live that down.
You got to be a superstar. If the Knicks don't live up to the expectation they were at last year with a new head coach and all this, and then you could have had Giannis, there might be some help.
I got them going to the finals.
There might be some help.
By default. Because of injuries, Boston, Damon's in Portland now.
You own that stuff again?
You own that stuff again? I got the Knicks going to the finals. I got them going to the finals. Knicks going to the finals. They're going to the finals.
Well, Josh Hart leaving with injury was obviously a worrisome thing for the Knicks. They also did not have OG Anunoby in this game, who was out with a sprained hand. He's day-to-day. The Knicks said that Josh Hart didn't come back in the game because he was ejected, not because he had the injury. So we'll see how that might change over the next couple of days. Josh Hart already dealing with a finger injury that's going to bother him throughout the season. So that injury was probably the headline for the Knicks in this game. One thing I would point out, VJ Edgecombe has really impressed his 76ers teammates over the last week and a half at training camp. And he didn't shoot the ball great in this game, but he played a lot of point guard. He had 14 points. He had 6 rebounds. He is going to get a ton of minutes, and he is going to be really probably something to pay attention to, because Joel Embiid and Paul George are not ready to play yet. They were missing 5 rotation players for tonight's game, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to the final score. And by the way, the final tally, 3 of 35 3-point shooting for the 76ers. But the good news is that the heaves at the end of the halves did not count. So they have that going for them.
How do I follow that up there, Malika? I think,
you take a 3.
I think for me there's 2 things. Yeah, you do. There is 2 things here, and it started with what New York did with their opening lineup. Pacom Dadier, their first-round pick, started in there. Why that's relevant is because he could be the odd man out when you look at this Knicks roster. They're going to need to clear out some money if they want to keep Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet, who they've signed in the offseason to kind of booster that bench. He certainly struggled shooting the ball 0-5 from 3. The second thing is Deuce is loose, right? Deuce McBride, 12 points coming off the bench. Certainly is going to be an important factor for New York this season as far as where that bench goes.
And you mentioned Pacom Dadier. He would have to be moved before October 18th, right, if they were going to be making that sort of move. Perk, I know it's very early in terms of Mike Brown's tenure as Knicks head coach, but I'm hearing even in the preseason, you're already spying something on this new look team.
I'm Kendrick Perkins, better known as Big Perk, and nothing gets past me. Freeze! Just when you thought it did get past me, there I am. I spy a problem. I spy it all. Carry the hell on. Well, y'all know down in Texas, they have this saying called peak game from a player's position. And damn it, I know it's preseason, but I'm peeping things from the New York Knicks in their first preseason game. New coach, new life, new system offensively. Look at Jalen Brunson right here. Look at him outlet the ball. They're playing with pace. They were one of the slowest playing teams offensively last season. Here's the one that got me up off my couch while I was watching. Watch the rebound in here. Now look at Karl Anthony Towns, the big fella, running up the floor, with those size 22s, getting up in transition. This is how Mike Brown wants to play. This is going to help and benefit the Knicks, getting stops, getting out and run, playing with pace. They will